Two Nigerian foreign nationals were arrested during a coordinated security operation that took place after intelligence reports pointed officers towards suspicious movements connected to possible illegal activities. The operation was carried out quietly and carefully, and the suspects were taken into custody without any disturbance to the public. During the search that followed, officers reportedly recovered items that immediately raised questions, and those items are now part of an ongoing investigation. At this stage, the full list of what was found has not been officially released to the public, but sources close to the investigation say the materials could be linked to activities that go against the law. Authorities are still analyzing everything step by step, making sure no detail is missed before any final conclusion is made. The suspects are currently assisting with investigations while being held by security officials. Now listen carefully, because this is where the matter becomes very important for everyone watching. In today's world, security operations like this are not just random events. They are usually the result of weeks or even months of careful monitoring. Officers do not just wake up and make arrests without reason. They follow patterns, gather intelligence, observe movements, and only move in when they are confident enough that something serious is going on. So in this case, it is believed that the arrest was not accidental. It was part of a planned operation that aimed to prevent possible illegal activities from continuing or expanding further. And when police finally moved in, they made sure everything was controlled and professional. Now, before we go deeper, I want everyone watching right now to take a second and do two things for me. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps us bring you more updates like this in real time, and it supports the work we are doing here. Don't forget, your support keeps this channel alive. Now, let's continue. The arrest of foreign nationals in any country always brings attention, especially when it involves investigations that are still ongoing. But it is very important to understand something clearly. Being arrested does not automatically mean guilt. It simply means that the authorities are investigating a situation that needs proper explanation. At this point, investigators are working to determine what exactly the seized items represent, how they were being used, and whether they are connected to any wider network or not. These kinds of investigations usually take time because officers must be very careful. One mistake can affect the entire case. Security experts have explained that modern crime has become more complex than before. It is no longer about simple activities that can be easily detected. Today, many illegal operations are carried out using technology, communication apps, and hidden identities. Some individuals operate across multiple countries without even physically meeting the people they are working with. This is why intelligence-led policing has become very important. Instead of waiting for crime to happen, security agencies now try to prevent it before it fully develops. That is exactly what seems to have happened in this case. The suspects, according to early information, were tracked based on certain patterns that caught the attention of investigators. These patterns may have involved movement, communication, or financial transactions that did not look normal. Once enough information was gathered, the operation was approved and carried out. During the arrest, officers reportedly acted in a professional and controlled manner. There were no major disruptions, and everything was handled according to procedure. The suspects were then taken for questioning, where they are expected to provide explanations that may help the investigation move forward. Now let's take a moment to understand something very important for everyone watching this video. In situations like this, public reaction often spreads very fast. People start forming opinions before full facts are released. But in serious investigations, it is always better to wait for official confirmation. Authorities usually release verified details after they have completed their initial checks, so that misinformation does not spread. So while this story is still developing, we must be careful not to jump to conclusions. What is known for now is that an arrest has been made, items have been seized, and investigations are ongoing. Now please, if you are just joining us, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We bring you updates like this regularly, and your support means a lot. Also, share this video so others can stay informed. Moving forward, another important angle to consider is how cross-border movement is managed. In many countries, people travel for business, education, and other legal purposes. But at the same time, security agencies must also ensure that individuals entering or operating within their borders are not involved in activities that can harm public safety. This is why immigration systems, customs checks, and intelligence units all work together. When something suspicious is detected, it is not handled by one department alone. It becomes a joint effort involving multiple agencies. In this situation, it appears that coordination played a major role. Intelligence was gathered, shared, and acted upon quickly. That is one of the reasons the operation was successful. However, this also raises important questions about how criminals sometimes attempt to exploit international movement. Some use fake documents, while others hide their true intentions under normal business or travel activities. This is why constant monitoring and cooperation between countries is very important. Now let's slow down a bit and think about the bigger picture. Every time a case like this comes out, it reminds us that security is not something to take lightly. Governments and agencies work every day to ensure that societies remain safe. But they also depend on information technology and sometimes even public awareness to detect unusual activity. That is why citizens also play a role. Reporting suspicious behavior, staying alert, and cooperating with authorities can help prevent bigger problems in the future. Now back to the case. The two suspects are currently in custody, and investigators are continuing their work. They are expected to be questioned further as more evidence is analyzed. Depending on what is discovered, charges may be filed or further arrests may follow if a larger network is identified. For now, everything remains under investigation, and officials are being careful not to release incomplete information. This is standard procedure in cases like this, especially when sensitive matters are involved. Let me also remind you again, if you are enjoying this update, please like this video and subscribe. It really helps us continue delivering more real-time news updates in simple English that everyone can understand. Now, one thing that is also very important to mention is how such cases can affect public perception. When foreign nationals are involved in arrests like this, it sometimes leads to general assumptions about entire groups of people, but it is important to separate individual cases from general communities. Crime is an individual action, not a nationality issue. Security agencies always focus on individuals, not groups, and investigations are carried out based on evidence, not assumptions. So, as this story continues to develop, the focus remains on facts, evidence, and proper legal procedures. At this point, officers are still reviewing the materials recovered during the operation. They are trying to understand how they were used, where they came from, and whether they connect to any known criminal activity. This process is very detailed and can take time. Sometimes, investigations like this can expand into larger cases if more information is discovered along the way. So what we are seeing here might just be the beginning of a much bigger picture, or it could remain a single isolated case. Only time and investigation will tell. Before we continue further into the next stage of this developing situation, I want to pause here. If you want me to continue this full detailed breakdown of what might happen next, how investigations usually unfold, and what possible outcomes could come from this case, let me know right now. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next part.